individual that I'm about to introduce is a professional coach and corporate trainer. He has absolutely helped the efficiencies of the senior management group. His training methods are unique. They're very valuable. I want you to have fun today. I want you to relax and have fun and enjoy it. And it will be a fun presentation.
Where you will be in 5 years is based on the people you surround yourself with, the number of books you read, and the actions that you take. The Heart of Change. The single most important message in this book is very simple. People change what they do less because they are given analysis that shifts their thinking than because they are shown a truth that influences their feelings and emotion. Stories are important. I spent my whole career up to the last 9 years in technology. I was in senior management for my last 12 years and CIO of a billion-dollar company my last 7. We were getting ready to take the company public. I was going to be one of 12 people that was going to be able to ring the bell on the New York Stock Exchange. Couldn't wait for that to happen. And then out of the blue, I had to go into the emergency room because my back was hurting me. So I went into the emergency room, gave me some painkillers, took my vitals, and said, "Paul, do you realize that you have a heart murmur?" I said, "Yes, I do. I've had it my whole life." And they said, "Do you have any idea how bad it is right now?" And I said, "I don't." "You cannot leave until a cardiologist looks at you." I said, "Just keep the pain medicine coming and I'm good." Cardiologist took some tests. Hours later comes back and says, "Paul, I don't know if you have 6 hours, 6 days, you don't have 6 weeks. Your aortic valve is ready to explode. And if it does, you will be dead before you hit the ground." I said, "Okay, thank you. I'm going to New York in 10 days to ring the bell. The heart's going to have to wait." My wife, my 3 daughters who were in high school, disowned me. Could not believe that I would do that. And yet I was untouchable, invincible. So I got back from New York, and it was working on week number 6, and I remembered what the cardiologist said. So I decided to go to the heart hospital, which was right down the street from my corporate office, walked in, told them what was going on. So they ran tests. A new cardiologist comes in and says, "Paul, do you have any idea how sick you are?" I said, "I think so." He goes, "I don't know if you have 6 hours, 6 days, you don't have 6 weeks." I said, "Oh my God, do they teach you that at school?" They said, "Seriously, you're a sick man. And because you're in pretty good health, physically, you probably haven't recognized the symptoms." So I decided to go under open heart surgery. 3 valves replaced. 5 minutes before surgery, the nurse asked my 3 girls and my wife to go back out to the waiting room. We said our goodbyes. It was going to be a long, difficult operation, one that I might not survive, and we were told that. As the family left, the nurse said, "Paul, I'm going to give you 5 minutes by yourself. I want you to use it appropriately." I said, "No, no, no. I don't want 5 minutes by myself." And she said, "For some reason, I think you need it." So she left. And in those 5 minutes, I looked at my legacy. I didn't have one. At the time, my wife didn't like me. My 3 girls didn't know me. I was married to corporate America. My chairman, who I spent most of the time with on a daily basis, wasn't even there. So I got really sad. So I decided to start praying, negotiating. And I prayed to my God that if He would save me and give me a second chance, I would change my life. I would build a legacy. And if I was successful building my legacy, then I would help others build their legacy. I came through. 3 months later, I resigned, bought a coaching franchise, and I'm 9 years into that coaching franchise. And I'm not just exactly where I should be yet, because 2 years ago, I had to have open heart surgery again. And they cut me open again and replaced 3 more valves. And it was another tough scenario that I might not have survived in. And I did. And when I thought I had it all together, when I thought I had all my lessons, when I had all my learnings, I'm going into my 9th year of coaching, my passion, my belief system. Last April, I had my yearly exam, and my cardiologist says, "I'm sorry to tell you this, Paul, we have to cut you open one more time. We need to replace all three out of the 4 valves again." And I looked and said, why? Why? I went to the victim stage. Why me? Isn't twice enough? And then I went to my faith and said, I may have missed a few things along the way. I'm going to make sure I pick them up this time around. I came through. In fact, I had just met Kevin in April, early April, told him of the situation. He said, "Come back after you've healed." Thank you. So I came back after I healed. 3 open heart surgeries. 9 valves replaced. 20 some odd years in corporate America. I believe I know what I'm talking about. And now I want to help Beacon Credit Union find the emotion. Find that passion for going beyond what you've been great at for so many years. And you have been great. And it's an honor to work with the group. You have to put actions with what you want. The law of attraction, what you put out there, you get back. And if you just put out there that I want to win the lottery, it doesn't know what to do until you buy that ticket and say, I want to win that lottery and here are my numbers. I'm not joking. And do you win all the time? Absolutely not. Especially when the odds are 1,000,000,000 to 1. And yet if you want to improve your life, if you put it out there positive and believe in it and then put action to it, your life will change. And then we have this. I know everything. Yeah, funny, isn't it? I deal with it on a daily basis. I used to be that. I know. How many of us say, I know to our spouse or our significant other? How many of us say that to our boss? I know. Stop telling me. I know is a wall. I know is a statement that you don't care. If you knew, then you would have probably have done something different. Instead of I know, we can say, isn't that interesting? So when my wife would say, take out the trash, I decided I was going to say, isn't that interesting? Why? And we got through it. Instead of I know, quit nagging me. How many times do we do that in our personal life and professional life? Kelly, please come up and join me on stage. And if you would, Kelly, if you would bring Dean with you. I thoroughly enjoyed every visit I had. Some were longer than others, and that's fine. That's just the way it works. And Marion was the last one that I hit, that I had worked into the schedule. And I had a great time with everyone in the office. And after I finished with Kelly, I spent some time with Dean. And Dean has been in two of my workshops, is that true? And I love him to death, probably because we're about the same age, I don't know. And when I got to his office, it was just incredible. I thought, I found someone with more inspirational quotes in an office than what I have in my office. And I was trying to read every quote, and as he's telling me about his great news of retiring in May, and I said, Dean, I hope you're doing it for the right reasons and not because of all the change. And he said, no, Paul. Initially, I thought it might have been, and it's really not. It's because I want to live life outside of Beacon and spend time with my family more and enjoy that. And it just really touched my heart, because that's so incredible that he has the ability to do that sooner than he first originally thought. And I was touched. It made my weekend. So I took down one of the things in my office and decided to re-gift it. And that's what I want to give to you. I know it's let your wild spirit roam may be a little bit stretching for you.
I'm still pretty wild.
And who knows? And I just want to say it's been a pleasure to know you, and I hope I see you still very often.
You will.
All right?
Thank you.
Thank you. 4 steps to learning. Unconscious incompetent. Unconscious incompetent is a state of mind where you don't know what you don't know. Conscious incompetent is a state of mind where you finally learn the value of something and you're incompetent about how it works or how to do it. Conscious competent is where you know and understand the value of it, and now you know how to do it. Unconscious competent is taking things for granted. Unconscious competent is taking your attention off the speed limit, driving over in the snow. I would imagine everyone driving today was more conscious competent than they've been in a while because of the snow that we had. And at the point where you're unconscious competent, we need to go back and be conscious incompetent. We need to tell ourselves that we've taken our eye off the mark, and we need to get back to where we were. And to do that, we need to become a little bit incompetent about what we're doing and start the practice all over again. 2 things help us make decisions. One of them is logic. The other one is emotion. Yeah, they both have decision-making powers. And when it comes out, it's only 20% logic and 80% emotion. 80% of our emotion convinces our logic that it's okay. So, help me. Help me understand why I visited as many branches as I did, and I had more logic coming to me than emotion. Nothing's terrible. In fact, it's great. It is absolutely great. It's a great organization. The customer service is good to great. And we need to take it to the next level. And by doing that, that means that we are going to have to change behaviors to get there. To get something you've never had before, you have to do something you've never done before. I'll say that again. To get something you've never had before, you have to do something you've never done before. So if we're going to put more emotion and relationships into our business, then we're going to have to do something that we're not really common in doing. I want you to change. And if you truly want to be more sociable, more likable, then it has to start with you. Then you engage people on what you want to change, and you tell them. And we don't like telling people what we want to change. Why? Because then excuse me? Say it again. Yeah, then you're accountable. Then you have accountability coaches. When you guys go back to your branches tomorrow, hold everybody accountable for more smiles, more conversations, even if you don't feel like it. Words, voice tone, body language. If they all equal 100%, which one's the most important? Words, right? Body language. Absolutely. Again, it goes to this. If I stood up here and told you that the body language was the most important thing going on, you guys would get bored. I would fail you. And on occasion, sometimes I just want to do this. And that's when I need to rise to the occasion the most and say, I'm not going to do that. I'm going to have inflection in my voice. I'm going to have good body language. So it's comfortable, right? It is. Please stop. It's just a natural thing because thank you, you can sit back down. It's a natural thing because for so long, at some point in our life, we've been uncomfortable, right? And when we get uncomfortable, this is what we do. Or if we disagree with what's going on, this is what we do. And we disagree or we are so uncomfortable more times than not, this is what we become. It's a habit that I want you to be more conscious, confident about. And now I want you guys to enjoy what you do more. I want you to have change. I want you to be open to change. I want you to have inclusion. You may not have to agree with it completely, and yet I want you to be open to it. Because we have a line in life. You're either above the line or below the line. If you're above the line, you have ownership, accountability, and responsibility. What's going on in your circle of concern, in your circle of influence. If you are below the line, you have blame, excuses, and denial. You have drama. Everybody's always wrong. You just can't understand why the world's so wrong. Or the organization is so wrong. If you're above the line, you're the victor. If you're below the line, you're a victim. It's your choice. What do you want to be? To get something we've never had before, you will have to do something you've never done before. When you walk out of these doors, what are you going to change in your life to make an impact on yourself, your family, your business, and your community? I ask for 1%. Leave here today with 1% change. If you change your behavior 1%, what could happen?